What's going on, fellas? Just wanted to come bring y'all some game. Just been pondering on this and talking to a couple of my girls that were friends that I'm cool with. And sometimes we just chop it up about game, chop it up about different experiences, just so I can get into the mind of how other people think. And the topic that I was very interested in is men that just talk a lot. You know, why do you talk so much when you're on dates? And this isn't just with women, this is with any situation. You know, when you talk so much when you don't know somebody, when you talk so much when you're just getting to know somebody, it's like, where is it coming from? You have to be aware, is it coming from a place of insecurity or is it coming from a place of confidence? And because it is a lot of people that talk a lot, but they're confident people and it's not like, too much. When you're in an interpersonal relationship, and we're just going to speak on women. At the end of the day, I can just speak on what I do. I don't talk too much, bruh. I don't talk too much. I'm big on listening and analyzing the person, the human that I'm speaking to, because if it's a girl I'm just meeting, or even a girl that I've known for 6 months, a good amount of time, you still don't really know this person. So when you just sit back and analyze what they're saying, and now you're able to add to the conversation based on the context. One, what I've learned is people just like to hear themselves talk. People like to hear themselves and feel like you're being listened to, because so many people don't freaking listen. And this is really a hack of how to get people to like you, because in most friendships and most relationships that you're in, nobody ever hears you out. So when you are the person you meet somebody that's just able to genuinely feel like they care about what you're saying, and you got to genuinely mean it, because it's not about like playing a game and acting like, oh, I'm just being P, and being like, somebody can tell when that's just not who you are. And maybe that was just how I was raised. Like, my pops always taught me, like, don't do too much talking, like, just listen. So that's one of the biggest things I can say, bro, because it just comes off as like you're secure with yourself. Like, most people that can be quiet, and don't get me wrong, I am an extrovert in certain scenarios and certain situations. I'm very extroverted, but I only talk when I feel like I bring value to the situation. And you should be the same way, and sometimes you got to leave things a mystery. Some things is not supposed to be said all the time. And it's a time and a place for everything. So if you're on a first date and, you're just spilling all the beans, spilling all the things about yourself, it's like, no, if she's intrigued and asking you questions about that kind of stuff, yes, but give space and time to talk. Like, if she asks me, hey, so what do you do for work? I'm gonna be honest. It depends on what stage. If you're trying to just, not build a real relationship and just trying to keep her as just, somebody on your roster or whatever, then you might be mysterious. You might just be like, I just dibble and dabble. I just be in and out of town, go here, go there. Say something very vague. That gives the mystery. It keeps it still there. It's like, okay, I like this dude. It's something about him I can't fully understand, because once the mystery is gone, a lot of times the relationship is done. Because at the end of the day, you don't know why this person likes you. You don't know why this person was attracted to you in the first place. And that's why a lot of dudes, you have a girl all on you, really be on your top for a long time and just really want you. And then you go out, you start being around this person a lot, and you like, damn, like, I got her. You start getting comfortable. You start revealing so much. And what that does is, in your brain, you think you know why she liked you, and you don't. You don't know why she was attracted to you. You know, you might be a 6'5" dude, tatted up. She's like, oh, this dude is tough. This dude's a real man. You get to talking about goddamn Star Wars and, oh, well, I like to do this on the week. It's like, yeah, I don't even like him. You get what I'm saying? But it's a double-edged sword with that, because you do want to be yourself around people, but this is going to the dudes who want to play the game. You know what I'm saying? Who want to have a high level of attraction. And to do that, everybody's not the same. You know, this game doesn't work for every girl. But I'm just saying, on an odds basis, on a generality point of view, like, I would say you'll have more success doing it this way than not. You know, you ever heard them people talk about that rich guy, the guy with money, when they go on a date, all they doing is talk about themselves. Yeah, I do this, baby, and I do that, I do that. Oh, yeah, I get this amount of money. Oh, yeah, I can do this for you, too. It's like, one, you're setting somebody up to use you. You get what I'm saying? And why would you want somebody to use you? You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't want nobody in my life to where you're only around me for the things that I have. One, that's green shit, and you learn that from growing up. You don't want to be no lick. You get what I'm saying? So one thing I don't ever lead with money, because I got to keep that up. I got to keep that up. Why would I want somebody in my life for the things they know what I could do for them? You don't like me. You don't generally like my vibe, like my energy. You know, and the only way you could do that is to, one, learn the person, listen to the person, and connect with the person. You know, a lot of times when you're talking and doing all this and trying to validate yourself to them, it's almost like you're the woman. You know, and that's just how I personally see it. And it comes off as like an insecurity. It comes off as like you're not okay with being alone. And that's not, will it work? In certain situations, yes, it will definitely work, you know. But it doesn't come off as hella masculine, you know. Like, allow them to talk, allow them to express themselves, and then you just lay seeds where you need to lay seeds at. You know, you'll have better odds doing it like that than not. You know, rather than pouring your heart out, saying what you love, saying, oh, I like this and that, and it's like, yeah, you connect, you say certain things that add to the conversation, but at the same time, you gotta have layers to yourself. Like, a first date, nobody should ever fully know you after a first date. You should never try to get so comfortable with a person. Like, allow them to do that. Allow them to get more comfortable with you, you know. And this is just, I don't know where I really learned this from. Like, I've always kind of been like this, and I've always had situations that lasted a long time. One, because I just understand that people like what they can't have. People love what they can't have. People love what they feel is scarce. People love what they feel is not available to everybody. And when you come off as you're okay with being alone, when you come off as you don't have to say too much all the time, I think what it does psychologically is raise your value subconsciously. Because they're like, at the end of the day, no girl knows, unless you can verbally see that you get women. Like, oh, I can see he gets women. How? I don't know. Maybe you're at the gym. Maybe she done seen you with a couple girls. Maybe she knows a friend of a friend and they know that you have a girl. Okay, boom. Outside of that, it's all about your social cues that you get women. Somebody who doesn't have to validate themselves to a woman automatically triggers in the woman's brain that you get women, because you're not trying too hard. Women can always see when a man doesn't get women, because it's like it's his first fucking time walking into the candy store. His energy, you can't hide it. You can't chill. You can't just sit back, lay back, vibe. You get what I'm saying? You gotta, baby, just doing too much. So certain things trigger like, oh, he might be high value. He don't really say too much. He just let me talk. And then the crazy thing about letting somebody talk, it's almost like you talk them, they're talking their self into liking you. You know, because when you're speaking and talking, it's dopamine going off in your brain, and this person's just sitting there looking like, oh, okay, yeah. And what you do? What job you do? How'd you get into that? Oh, okay, yeah. How long have you been a nurse? Okay, yeah. Then you add something into that, and you just sit back and you chill, and then, you know, after a couple minutes, you go and you talk about yourself. Oh yeah, I do this. You know. Oh yeah, I like to go to the gym. You know, I go about 4 times a week. Yeah, I be on my diet. Yeah, I like to read a little bit. Like, you're saying things, one, that you got to have some level of grown man game. And this is not for everybody. For the YNs, for the young dudes, this is like a higher level game, because for a little bop, you don't need that level of game. You don't need that maturity, you know. But when I want older dudes to be watching this. There's a lot of older dudes, older than me, you know, that can't get older women because you can't code switch. You know, a lot of dudes from the hood, you only are in one category. You can only get hood girls because that's the energy that you match them on. But when you can do both, when you can be intelligent, when you do intelligent shit, and you also can talk to a hood, it's like they want both, bro. They want both. And I've never been the type where I want to be one-dimensional in my game. I don't want to be one-dimensional. I don't only want to be able to get a goddamn 24-year-old or a 23. I want to be able to get to 37 too. So to do that being young, you have to bring some level of maturity, but also still bring that level of fun. So like I said, like I started the video off with, man, just don't do too much talking when you're dating. Don't do too much talking. Let your game, let your aura, let your confidence do the talking more so than your mouth. And understand where it's coming from. Make sure when you do blabber and try to connect with somebody, that it's not coming from a place of insecurity or a place of, I need to be heard, you know, because I don't think that's a masculine place for a man. And don't get me wrong, I am aware, because all my people tell me that, like, I am built a little different when it comes to that. That's not an easy skill to build. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of people from a young childhood, they yearn for loving. They yearn for, you know, somebody to like them. I never had that. I never had that yearning because I did get a lot of love. So as a man, when you're abundant in the love that you got and the love that you're getting, it shows because you don't come off as needy. And not being needy is one of the best qualities to be able to attract women, because women love what doesn't really love them. Weird, but it's the truth. So if you like this video, go ahead and drop me a like. I'm gonna be posting more. Come get this game. Come get this real knowledge from somebody who really has experience. And yeah, tap in.